What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zero November. The Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day. It's just time for the Hump Day Happy Hour. Hopefully, we got a great topic tonight and won't get nobody divorced or nothing. And that's the goal. Or is it? Before we get started, let's thank our Patreons. And just go ahead and thank them now in case we get any of them divorced. Get them in trouble for watching this stream. They're absolutely awesome. Also, a big shout out to the YouTube members. You guys are awesome. I did have somebody inquire about a Pota rover, what it would take. So we might be getting a new Pota rover coming up. And then we're going to pop over to these guys. Changes once again. Last week we had X-Ray Oscar and Kent move on to the board. And this week they got booted right back out because Michael Sierra Foxtrot Bravo said, nope, I'm back on that board. And then we also had a big off-stream donation from RFing Around, which brought him from not on the board to decently up the board. And then also an off-stream donation from Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys very much for those off-stream donations. And also, my favorite thing to say, somewhere on that board, let me put that board back up. Somewhere on this board right now, there's a dollar move. $1 separates somebody from somebody else.
And I'll give you a further hint about who it is. It's somebody in yellow.
It is somebody in yellow.
How about
unlike my latest Patreon graph where everything was color coordinated besides the very last one, and I still don't even know how that happened. So, how's it going, Dan?
I don't like this time change. I just realized it again that right when the stream starts on the Wednesdays, it's the new UTC day. So all these hunters I see popping up, and I could be rude and bow out and go hunt them. But speaking of that, somebody owes taxes. And I'm sure we all know who that is right now.
I'm going to guarantee I know who it is. That would probably be, and I haven't looked at the spotting page or nothing. That's going to probably be Kilo Delta 9, Uniform Delta Victor.
Yes, honey, you can go. Larry, you can. It's okay.
After the stream.
After
guys,
this.
Guys, listen, I do not want to hear it. I can guarantee you that Toby is watching this stream right now while she is hunting everybody. And she also will be an after chat. And the second somebody pops in, you'll see her mic go mute because she'll pop right over and she'll hunt them. Every now and then she'll forget to mute the mic, and then we'll hear it right now. Everybody in after chat back, Alpha Delta 2, Charlie Delta.
She's doing one better tonight. She's at a club meeting tonight and hunting and watching the stream.
Okay.
That's right.
So she's real.
Talk about multitask.
Dedication, baby. Dedication.
See right there. Right there in the chat.
That's right.
Yes. Oh, always nice to have Toby in there. Oh, Toby has been a great follower of this channel for a very, very long time.
An OG.
She's definitely one of the OGs for sure. So shout out to Toby. Hayden, how about yourself? How you doing?
Oh, we're doing good. We're getting excited for the end of April. Remind everybody, I'm going to be doing my memorial activation at Kilo 1577. If you're local to the area, feel free to drop by. Posted it on the Pota Facebook page. It's also in our Discord events. Feel free to stop by if you're in the area, or work us on the radio and you get a nice certificate for it.
Good deal.
Bill's going to be back up this way, so I'm looking forward to seeing him again this year.
I have no idea what Dan is doing in the chat right now, y'all.
Well, look at the guy above him.
Mike said he was in the house, so I said,
He's excited to see Mike.
Hey, Mike's really excited. Normally Mike sends me packages in the mail. And I love getting packages in the mail when I don't know what they are. But he got one in the mail that he didn't know what it was for a change. He was so excited until he realized it was the radio that he hated so much that he pawned off on somebody else to put together, coming back to him broke. So
that's funny.
It was quite funny because I actually had my phone turned down today because I don't know how it happened, but somebody, and I swear to God, if it's one of you Patreons and I find out who it was, Hayden will be sharpening the knife. The executioner will be coming out. Somebody gave my number, some kind of insurance thing, saying that I needed health care from something or another. And I mean, it has been around the clock phone ringing, 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 ringing. And I don't know how to get them to stop. But so I had my phone on mute, and I look after my second activation today, and I'm like, I have like 12 missed calls from PP Man, and I'm like, wait, I thought you were only calling Steven now. What's going on? But anyway, I think we got a great topic tonight. But disclaimer: do not take advice from me. I'm not married for a reason. No, really. So we're going to talk. We're going to talk tonight about. Actually, before we get into the topic, I did want to say one more thing. I wanted to tell everybody how to not give up and do Pota in a pinch when you got to. So yesterday, we all know I'm doing the PZN challenge, and yesterday I got everybody in my 2 activations during the day besides the Pearson 3 because they were at a ball game. And the second activation was at Chief Logan, and my fever spiked again. So I left after doing 20 meters. So I messaged them and I told them, I said, listen, just tell me when you get home, and I won't have my car or nothing, but I'll walk over. I said, I have a car. I won't have any car, but I'll walk over to Chief Logan and do some QRPCW and get you in the log for today since y'all has at the ball game. Like, okay. So I come home and try to get my fever down, and I lay down on the couch. Well, they text me about 5:40ish or something, saying they're home. Late shift don't start till 8 o'clock. But guess what? I'm doing at 5:40. Something I never do, but I'm sick. I'm asleep on the couch.
Oh, no.
I'll wake up. It is 7:37, and I'm in panic mode. I was like, oh, crap. I'm about to lose 3 at the PZN challenge if I don't now. So I sprint into the room, and I grab my bag, and I just run out the door. I get over to the park, and I start pulling stuff out of the bag, and I realize because I've been stuck home and being sick so much, I've been trying to reorganize things, and I had pulled a few things out of the bag that I had planned on using to set up. So I'm like, great, what am I going to use? So I'm going through the bag some more, and I find my Sporty 40 in there, and I'm like, okay, I'll use the Sporty 40. Where's my radials? Oh crap, I don't have no radials. So I throw the Sporty 40 up, no radials, and by 12 minutes till the hour, which is really good time considering what I just went through, I was calling CQ and got them in, and everything was all good. And then I said, well, I'll just stay and get this late shift because I knew Michael needed a late shift because he was having to do something for work today. So I stayed and done a late shift, 40 meters. Come home, go to bed, dope myself up on all this stupid cold medicine. This stuff must be bad for you because today, what do? I go to Chief Logan to activate, and I start on 40 meters. And I didn't even realize what I was doing. And then Josh had messaged me, and he said, hey, I'm sorry I duped you. I forgot I worked you last night. And I was like, oh, I forgot I was here last night. But it wasn't bad. I only had 8 dupes. Not a big deal. So,
you sure it's cough medicine you're taking and not like propofol or something?
It was in the medicine cabinet, and I'm pretty sure my cough syrup's called Drano, right?
That's right. Exactly.
Yep.
Okay. It's supposed to flush out the germs.
I'm pretty sure. I'm sure it's working. I think because my insides feel really funny. All right.
Speaking of insides feeling funny, Chris says, I bet I was feeling more loopy than you yesterday.
Chris, you may have, because you were one of those dupes.
Yeah. He was also, not to tell everybody his business, but if you can figure it out, he did join an 80-meter net yesterday.
He joined an 80-meter net.
He joined an 80-meter net yesterday. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
What net did he join?
Well, I can't say because that would be divulging his information. But just say he joined an 80-meter net yesterday. I'm sure he'll send you something here.
He said he'll PM the video. Okay.
DM the video.
Oh, very cool.
It's funny.
I've ran a few 80-meter nets before.
Yeah.
The
inside outside net.
So Pete's got it wrong again. Pete says he's listening from Eastern Worst, Virginia. And I've tried to tell him this on the radio today. Virginia is no longer Virginia. The king has decided that we are expanding the capital. I think you messed that up, Stephen. The 7.042 was supposed to be on the top line, and the 499 is on the bottom line. Fix that, and we'll send people your way. Thank you for your taxes, sir. But I told Pete today when he's on the radio, the king's going to expand, and Virginia is no longer Virginia. It is Eastern West Virginia.
Eastern West Virginia.
Because I'm so sick of people when you say West Virginia, they're like, oh, the west part of Virginia. Yeah, that's out there around Roanoke. No, it's West Virginia. So now Virginia, you're no longer a state. You're no longer in the 13 colonies. It's Eastern Western Virginia. Eastern West Virginia.
So I have to send EWV in Morse code? Or?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Is
that anywhere near Richmond?
Give it time.
It's one big West Virginia state. So now people who want to get worked out of West Virginia has to get all of both states.
That's right.
Speaking of which, I'll tell you, Larry and Terry are becoming diabolical duo or something. So, from time to time, I get people to send me Patreon requests of parts that they need. Toby sent me 5 in Florida. I got 4 of her 5, or I got 3 of her 4. That's what it was. I thought she sent me 5, but I got 3 of her 4. Plus, I got her Eagle. I do that pretty good for people. So Larry sends me a message like, me and Terry was talking, and we need to finish up West Virginia. Here's Terry's list, and here's mine. And I'm looking at this list. I was like, have you guys hunted any in West Virginia? I mean, they put a big, long list together. I'll tell you what. I'm still trying to map some of that out for you guys. I have seen the message, though, Larry. I ain't forgot about you. So I'm just trying to see how much of that I can do this year with what I've got coming up and stuff. Some of them's a definite. And actually, starting tonight, there is going to be a new room in my Discord, and it's only going to be for West Virginia Pota activators. I was requested at the Ham Fest to have a West Virginia only activator room, and it's basically for people who want to. Dan, can we put it to where people can see it but not post in it?
Mm-hmm.
Can we? Okay, I'll leave it open to everybody, but only the West Virginia activators will be posting in it, because it's basically for the ones in West Virginia that's wanting to work all West Virginia, and because the activators can set up stuff there for people and stuff like that. Because here's the problem with the people who activate West Virginia. They don't use 40 meters. What's wrong with you people?
That's true.
I do.
40 meters is where it's at in West Virginia to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Every time, and normally it's out-of-state people will come here, and the first thing to do is hop on 20, and then they get their fill and they're done. Like, come on, us people in state need some 40 meter stuff.
Same thing happens when people come to Georgia roving through and they never hit 40.
That's like people loved me in Florida because I would do 40.
You're allowed on 40.
Nobody works 40 in Florida because it sucks on 40, because all you can get is Florida, Georgia, and a little bit of South Carolina. Sometimes I'd peek into a few other places. Toby actually got me on 40 meters, and I still was shocked with that one. Now, not during the evening. Now, if Florida would open their parks up like normal states and not have a 6:45 curfew,
Yeah.
I understand that you go to Florida to retire. That don't mean the parks have to be retired too. They don't have to go to bed at sunset, people.
Curtis, good to see you in the chat. Roger.
I'm glad to see Curtis in the chat too, because I'm actually going to use Curtis in my thing tonight.
He has been tearing up the Northeast here lately.
Yeah, he went on a big road. Congratulations on Acadia. That is on my bucket list, Curtis. I really want to get that part, so congratulations on that one for sure. All right, so we're going to talk about how to get your wife to say yes, you can go Pota, or your husband, if you're a woman and your husband is the one that's saying no. I'm going to highly doubt that the husband's saying no, unless you're trying to say you got to watch all the kids and why go Pota. And he might be saying no. But we're going to try to tell you guys how to appeal to the others, and maybe even appeal to your kids. If your wife says you can go, but you got to take Billy, Tommy, and Eddie while me and Sally go get a pedicure. That's a fair trade. Take that. Go Pota. All right. So the first thing I would suggest is, hey, thank you very much for the super chat, Charlotte. The first thing I would suggest is try to get your significant other and your kids interested in ham radio. Maybe not Pota. I don't know why they wouldn't be interested in Pota, but something to do with ham radio. Whether it's, believe it or not, there's some women in my club that they love emergency management. I was shocked. I wouldn't think that of women that just love emergency management, but there's people that got them into ham radio. I mean, there's women who love several aspects of it, but try to show them different things in ham radio and try to get them in to ham radio. There you go, Scott. Your wife was happy to get you out of the house. That is another tactic. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and say, don't listen to me. I'm not married, but you could be really annoying, and she just say, "Won't you go Pota?" And that's how Dan gets out of the house. But Dan's not married no more either. So
there's another comment from Liz here, which is good here. Make them get their licensed. Make them all get their license, and they'll understand.
Absolutely.
That's the key word. Make them.
Listen, kids are not too hard to interest in ham radio. A lot of people think they are, but they're not as hard as you think. You can show kids a lot of interesting stuff when it comes to ham radio and get kids into ham radio. And if you sit down and spend a little bit of time with a kid that shows any kind of spark, you can interest kids in ham radio.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I love to do is keep kids in ham radio. But, all right, let's say you can't get them into it. So what do? You got to think of something that they like, that they can do in the outdoors. Does your wife like to go hiking? Does your wife, a.k.a. Curtis's wife loves to go geocaching. It is perfect for Curtis because, and I'm not saying she doesn't let him go Pota if she don't go geocaching because that's not like that. But I'm just saying that's a perfect scenario because he could. There's probably times that they've been going down the roads and she says, "I want to get a geocache at this park here," and he's probably like, "God, I guess I'm going to have to Pota now." Yeah. But stuff like that is great. Kayaking. You can kayak in a lot of parks. The kids can fish. The kids can play in the playground. Set up near a playground where you can watch the kids and do Pota. It's not really hard. You don't have to stare at everything. You can watch your kids and still do Pota while they're sitting in the playground. It's really simple. But people's big thing is they always be like, well, I'd love to Pota more like you do, but my wife ain't gonna let me come out like that and this, that, and the other. Have you tried to include her? Have you tried to say, hey, why don't we do a family picnic down the park? And don't even say nothing about radio. Get to the park, make sure she's having a good time, and just say, man, this would be a really good place to activate. And you'd be surprised she don't say, your radio's in the car, won't you get you a quick one in? Because she's having fun. It's really simple to include people into things. Yeah, once or twice, Curtis said. It's really simple. I know how much Curtis's wife likes to geocache. She's a hardcore geocacher, and I used to geocache years ago, and it's one of those things that's really obsessing too. So you get them into something like that, and be careful because they may be dragging you more to the park than you want to. You're like, I just want to stay home and hunt. No, you can either come activate or or you're just out of luck. But it's really simple to do stuff like that. Go on a camping trip. Go on a family camping trip. You know what? The kids and the wife are going to tuck her out after a long day in the sun. They're going to go to sleep, and you can sit in the car and you can Pota for a couple hours. It's not hard to figure out different ways to get somebody to go to a park. For example, everybody knows I go to Florida every year to see my mom do my radio thing down there. 4 years ago, the very first time I went, and my mom would go out to the parks with me when I'd go to the radio. And she started going out and she started doing little hikes and taking pictures and stuff like that every single day that I'd go. And she really liked it. And she said, I'm going to start doing this more often, even when you're not here. I don't care if I got to go by myself. And she ends up telling her boyfriend, he's like, well, I can't really walk because of my back, but I can ride a bike. So now they've got bikes and they'll go riding bikes, all the time. They've rode most of the big Florida trails and stuff like that. And then they've currently bought campers and everything, and they're camping a lot more. So you can spark something in your significant other that really makes them want to be outdoors, and that's going to help you get into the park yourself.
Let's see. George said that Miss Sunshine was responsible for about half of his activations last year.
See?
Yeah. And of course, me and you, James, did kind of guilt trip Andy into going out more. So now Liz has to share.
Well, I did kind of guilt him. I was like, well, when are you going to get your general so you can hunt me, and I've kind of guilted all her kids into to a lot of things. Like, you don't really need that push button stuff. You can send that CW yourself. And got 1540 meter PZN in Florida. There you go, Kent. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super chat.
That's a good stretch there, Florida to Indiana. So.
Yeah, but I bet you he would say his favorite band was 15.
Oh yeah.
He loved me when I'd go to 15 because he was super loud and I was super loud back. I went to 15 today, and it does not have the same effect in West Virginia as does Florida. Let me tell you. But if anybody in the chat knows of has done this, with their family, their wife didn't really want them to go do something, and you talked her into going to the park and doing something, and you ended up getting the Pota. Let's hear your ideals as well. Eric's in the chat. I've seen his lady with him out in the park.
V Gates, Bill.
Oh, Bill.
Yeah. So Eric's enjoys nature, so that's good. You can go walking trails, taking pictures, birding. I guess is fairly popular in some parks.
So. it's extremely popular down there in Florida where he's at. I can't tell you the parks that I was in that I would see people walking around, and it amazed me because I'm like, man, if I was walking around like this right here all the time, I'd be flat on my face.
Right.
And they're walking around with these expensive cameras. I mean, big photo lenses and stuff, and they're walking around looking like this. And I'm watching them walk by tree roots and everything, and I'm like, I would be on my face, and that camera would be broke. There you go. I'm lucky. My lady you took it off. Got her ticket. Now she's working on the sun. There we go. That's a good thing. I mean, it's easy. You know, I get fussed at that I don't do enough late shifts right now, because Sherry wants to go out after work, and I tell her, I'm like, I'm sick and I'm not going out there getting worse. So I was like, it's different in the summer. We all know I love the late shift, but I ain't doing it when I'm sick like this.
Just give her the radio and say go.
I've told her that a million times.
Yeah.
So the radio's in there. Have at it. Which I am wanting to put an 890. I think if I get an 891 put in her car with an ATOS, something simple, just pull in and go. I think she'll be fine.
But your luck, she'll come back like 2.5 hours later, and you'll ask, "So how'd you do?" She says, "I got 300."
I got my first kilo in 24 hours.
You remember that park you were trying to kilo? I kiloed it.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
So, I'd like to get her activating a lot more by herself. That way, she can go down and specifically just activate Elk River, which is Terry's home park. And, you know, she can just go activate it every single day to pass Terry up, because Terry's done a really good job holding that park.
I'm your huckleberry.
Anyway, Hayden, good. You got it made, because your wife likes to go boating with you.
Yes.
And when you guys go boating, you can activate the Chesapeake Canal. So I mean, that's a simple fix. If your wife likes to go boating and you got a boat, find you a spot. You know,
she pulls out her book. She sits on the back deck in her chair and reads her book, and I'm sitting in the cabin with radio going.
Listen, it's not hard to make a lady fall in love with the outdoors. The parks are beautiful. You know, I wouldn't suggest saying, "Hey, let's go Pota. I got something I want you to see," and then taking her to a wildlife management area where there ain't nothing but a trash dump where people throwing trash. Take them out. Take your wife. Take your kids out to a really nice park. It's got trails, got waterfalls, got all this stuff for them to see, and you won't hear no complaints. You know, unless you run a pile up for like 8 hours, then they're going to be saying, "Let's go." But you got to make it happen. Or
the WMAs are nice too now, because I mean they're peaceful. You don't have all the QR playground, you know.
WMAs are peaceful,
Yeah.
but if I'm going to go to a WMA, I'm going to go by myself, so it's going to be peaceful.
Well, the one I go to in Moorfield has the South Branch River going right by it, so there's fishing. If anybody's into fishing, you can do fishing at some of those wildlife management areas.
Well, I'll tell you what, the WMAs in Florida, I wouldn't suggest taking somebody to most of them, because you're more than likely they're going to run into the police at them for doing drug busts. And I tell you, some of them down there are just sketchy. And there's one somewhere around Kissimmee. I can't remember the name of it, but I've been there twice. And both times I've been there, be there for a little bit, and all of a sudden the cops will pull in and jump out of their car and they'll run down the trail. And I'm like, I don't know what goes on down these trails, but I'm not going hiking in this place. But yeah, I mean, for example, Chief Logan Sheephugging. There's a swimming pool over there for kids. Your wife and kids can go swimming over there, and you can activate in sheephugging. And don't tell me they don't want to go swimming, because they all want to go swimming in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
Your wife wants to lay in the sun. The kids want to hit the pool, and you sit out there in the park and activate. And then when the vids finally get you aggravated, you go dip in the pool, and you don't have to throw your radio out the window like your pee-pee man or something.
Georgia Veteran State Park is good for that too. It's right on Lake Blackshear. There's actually a beach area and everything else. So.
Lake Norman would be a good one. They've got a nice beach area and swimming area, and then if you wanted the boat or whatever, mountain biking. That's the problem with. See, my problem with Pota is it tears me up because I go to the park and I want to do so much other stuff too. Like I want to go mountain biking. I want to go throw around a disc golf or something like that. And I've been trying to do more of that this year. Like go to the park, activate, and then actually do something in the park other than Pota. You know. And that might be your thing that even gets you even further brownie points. You go, you take them to the park, you do your activation, and then you come over and she's sitting there looking a little bit bored and say, "Hey, you want to throw around a disc golf with me? You want to go walk this trail with me?"
There's stuff to do that's not Pota.
There is.
Wow.
It's just I always end up combining them, kind of like mountain biking, where I'm going to do a 5-part mountain bike road, which has parks on Larry and Terry's list.
Yeah.
I was really shocked, and somebody else gave me a list the other day, and it had a park that's on that list. So I'm making a lot of people happy, and I think a lot of that is because everybody is scared to activate there, because people think you have to have a permit or something because it is in the National Quiet Zone. But guess what? You do not. You do not have to have a permit to activate there. And they will not come out there. Phone calls have been made about it. It's good.
Now we know. Quiet, we're talking.
What an epic pile-up night that was.
Yep.
I will never forget that night. Speaking of pile-ups, PP Man said he was going to hunt me on CW today, and when I did talk to him, he's like, "Yeah, I was going to work you on CW," and I listened, and I said, "Nah, I ain't getting in that mess." He said, "That's just crazy." It gets pretty crazy, but I never can understand the people who don't listen, though, the hunters that don't listen, because I will literally be having a QSO with somebody else, and somebody else will be sending their signal report and stayed on top of them, and I don't have you in the log. I do not have you in the log because I'm not working you.
It's annoying for you as an activator, and I've had a couple of those as an activator as well. But trust me, it's annoying to the hunter you're talking to as well, because sometimes that other Yahoo covers you up.
I guarantee it. I've been working people, and then have them try to work me again, and then I ask them later, "Why'd you work me twice?" Well, I wasn't sure you got me the first time because somebody was sending over you.
Yep.
I hear this as, "What? No way."
Yeah. There's no lids on CW.
Mm-hmm. I would have to do, that's all I ever heard before I started CW. Oh, you're going to love CW. And I do love CW. I'm not down on it in any way. But everybody's reason was you're going to love it because there's no lids. Yeah, right.
The survey came back on that one.
I did work somebody today at I don't know how many words a minute he was going, but it was the fastest I've ever even remotely attempted to work somebody. He wasn't hunting me. I went and actually hunted him. I got done and I was like, let's see who's on CW. I was like, ooh, California. I wonder if I can hear him. And I got on there and I know he was sending 32, 33 words a minute. I mean, he was just getting it. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to wait for a break and throw out my call. And I threw it out and he come back. He never slowed down. Not at all. He come right back at my call and I understood my call. So he stopped after. I don't know what he sent after my call, but I did understand my call. He came right back, and I sent my signal report. And now I'm just going to wait and see if he put me in the log. Is all I can do for that. Because
there are lids on digital, Larry. Yes, sir. I don't know if it's so much as them being a purposeful lid or just not knowing how to use your software. But I've had it plenty of times. Well, not plenty because I don't really activate digital, but I have activated digital before. Or somebody calls me and then they start calling CQ right on top of them, right on the same damn hertz I am.
I was going to say my problem with digital used to be because people won't wait until the 73s are over.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: if the activator, hey, thank you very much for the 15 months, Terry. If the activator hits 73 after he see or hits log after he sees the 73 from them, they don't get a 73, so they automatically start recalling you, and then the activator gets mad because they're calling him again. But really, that's your fault. Not you need to wait the cycle after before you restart it, and that's what all the people told me is why they were doing that. So.
And that's why PSK 31 is the most awesomest digital. Just saying.
I wonder if you can be a lid on slow scan TV.
Oh, yeah.
Can you interfere with somebody's picture by sending a picture at the same time?
Yeah, because if somebody's activating on a slow scan frequency and then a lid just starts sending slow scan TV.
Yeah. So, well, here's the thing. Hey, thank you very much for the super chat, Terry. So here's the thing. I have had. So we had these. Maybe we were the vids, but whatever. I was activating on 80 meters one night, and these guys interfered with my whole entire activation. So after my activation, when I said, all right, I'm QRT, and I said, now taking check-ins for, and I started my 80 meter net. So I ran my net, and after I got done with my net, I immediately went over and started slow scan TV on the same frequency because you can do slow scan TV anywhere you want. It's not limited to the calling frequency. And, and I was on that frequency the whole time. So it was not in use, but they were trying to jam me off. And it's funny because they sat right on top of me on the same frequency. And they literally, one of them was decoding the slow scan TV because you could hear them talking, as you're hearing the digital go through and stuff. You could hear him talking. He said, that's that Kilo Oscar 4. And he'd say the call sign that was sending. They do think they're funny. We're getting our call signs for running that SSTV on there. But guess what? It ain't illegal. If you that's the bad thing about me in the summer. When I decide to go on 80 meters, if you want to be a lead, I will own your frequency all night long. I'll do every possible mode that's imaginable to God on that frequency. I don't have to be home. I can sit out until 3 o'clock in the morning. Your mama's eventually going to say, Billy, turn out the light in the basement. You're keeping me up. But just be nice. If you be nice and ask somebody, if one of them lids actually come over and said, listen, me and my buddy love to talk about macaroni on salad on this frequency every night, I'd move for him. But getting on demand, and it ain't going to happen, guys.
I mean, especially because it's macaroni salad.
Well, I don't like macaroni salad, Dan.
What?
Yeah, I don't like macaroni salad.
Jeez.
That's why I'd leave the frequency, because now if they said we want to talk about peanut butter, I'm like, well, let me tell you how to make the best.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me turn my amp on.
Lots of churning.
Let me turn my amp on here in
That's
the park. Let me fire up the hello 1500 watts.
So we can have a decent conversation. Yeah.
Let me calling home. Hey, I need you to bring the amp and the generator. I'm gonna be here a while. We're talking peanut butter tonight on 80 meters. You know, I really do need to do some PSK 31.
Yep.
And I just have not done it yet. And you know what? If somebody wants to be out in the field one day and activate with me and show me how to do some PSK 31, I'd appreciate that.
I was just telling Patrick in the chat that we didn't do a digital station last year for the memorial activation, but we're going to do one this year.
Or if y'all want to get together in a Discord room one night and do it, we can do that too. But
yep, we could do that too.
Hey, that's how we learned how to SSTV.
Let's have a live stream on it.
Well,
most of my contacts were with PSK 31.
Do another shenanigans in the park on PSK 31.
There you go.
That would be a lot easier to do a live stream on PSK 31.
Yeah. The first 45 minutes will be us trying to figure out how to run it, and then 15 minutes to get
I got it right here on the home shack. I could pull
we actually need to do another activation like that because people talk about that one all the time. So even with all the issues we had, so the only thing we need to do is whoever's internet's better, mine or Dan, we got to have that password wrote down. That way, the person running the mic doesn't have to switch the computer and not know the password.
Right.
So Dan had better internet in the park that day. And the first laptop was hooked to Dan, so we were doing fine. When I switched laptops, that's when we started having the issue.
Somebody needs to send you a solar generator.
A solar generator? You know, they're welcome
just
to.
Plug the laptops into that and be good to go.
I've got some solar panels. My problem is I can't never get my daggone laptops to charge off my batteries, or I wouldn't have this issue.
Digital modes are nice in parks when you're camping with a family. There's no noise from the speaker.
So no, CW, I love hearing.
So is CW with headphones.
Yeah, I was gonna say right here.
I love hearing the digital noise.
Yeah, I can CW with my headphones. Sometimes I'll sideband with my headphones, but my problem is when I do that is I'll have my monitor turned up a little too high on CW because I have to hear my CW back, and then I don't really notice it if I don't have a headphone on. But if I put my headphones on the SSB, I start hearing myself like, "Oh, that's got to stop. I'm gonna change that."
Mm-hmm. Well, the whole reason I did digital is because all I had in the shack here was an FT817. So I had 5 watts, and I couldn't make a sideband contact unless I had a perfect dipole antenna. No, this is before I learned about going out to the park. This was like 15 years ago. It was just me, a radio, and a little dipole up in the attic for 20 meters.
I was going to say because that really sketchy activation that I said I did with the no radials and stuff like that. That was I didn't even spot on Pota. I only spotted in Discord and was absolutely fine for an early and a late shift. So 5 watts is fine.
Yeah, this was before I knew about verticals and end-fed half waves and all this stuff. It's just a little dipole, 5 watts, and I was making contacts all over the world with digital. That was probably the last solar cycle.
You know, we mentioned Discord several times. If you're not a member of our Discord, you're really missing out. It is absolutely free, and it is the most useful information available in ham radio because It's not the Pota Facebook page where you ask a question and 22 vids tell you you're stupid, and 14 more people tell you the wrong way to do it. You know, it's really great. I've seen a lot of people get helped on a lot of topics in there.
Yep.
And it's free. Right there's the link in the chat. Dan just posted it. Go over and join that and ask your questions away. You know, it's great, and you will get all kinds of activations that you would not normally see, because all the rovers will use my Discord when they're just trying to get in and out for quick activations.
It's just so much faster than spotting on Pota.
It's just absolutely amazing. I'm telling you.
And you don't have to worry about. See, if you're anything like me and you spot on Pota, I have a problem turning the radio off when people are still calling. so this kind of eliminates that problem. So it's really hard for me to get 12 and move on when I got 100 people trying to call me.
And it's funny, sometimes when I have a bunch of vids on Pota, I will literally go QRT on the POTUS page, and I'll just stop calling. And I'll sit there, and I'll sit there, and I'll sit there. And about 2 minutes later, I post in Discord like, guys, I'm still in here. If anybody needs me, you can pop in now because all these vids are gone.
Yep.
And then I'll get another 5 or 10 contacts for people who couldn't get through the vids. Now, I don't do that every time. Don't think that happens every time, but it does happen, especially on CW, because sometimes my CW pop-ups are just they're just unruly. They're just that's what Bill needs to come on the show again and tell me how he controls his pile-up.
Yeah,
because I have issues controlling my CW pile-up. That's what I think I'll do. I think we're going to reach out to Bill. I seen him in the chat earlier, and he might have done went to bed on me. But we're going to reach out to him and make him come on here again, make him stay up late one night and tell us how he controls the pile-up. Because on sideband, I got this. You know, I'll call you down like a kindergarten teacher in a heartbeat. I'll put you in the corner. I mean, I don't care if you're being dumb. I'm going to make you feel dumb. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec, Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November, Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November. I'll work you, but tell me what part of Kilo 8 Golf Quebec is in your call sign.
Why you got to pick on old Uncle Terry first? Now?
I was picking on you. For once, I didn't say he was the vid. I said you were.
I like how Dan redirected that.
Even though since Dan's going to call him out, even though today I went Kilo Oscar 4 ? And I get Kilo 8 Golf Quebec, and I'm like, I'm going to work him because he's going to call back again. But I would offend him. If you're on my Discord, you can. He's put some clips on there of his noise level at his house, and I don't know how he makes the number of contacts he makes, because it's stupid.
It'd be good to hear from Bill too about at what point do you just go ahead and work the idiot just to get him out of the way? You know.
Well, on CW, I'm a lot faster than work the idiot. If I can get him who he is, I'll go ahead and work him on CW, because on CW, if they're super strong, it's hard to just keep going and not work them. Sideband, I can hear tones and all this. Now, if some of my people who I absolutely know their fists inside and out come in, I'll work them around the world. Right. But now Bill probably has different tricks. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reach out to Bill and see what day is good for him this month and get him back on the channel. We've had him on before. And he's a great guest, and maybe he'll let y'all in on a little secret that I know about. I don't know if he'll let it out of the bag or not, but I don't think it'll be. I think this weekend they're doing a meet and greet down Lake Louisa. So
why would you do that, Steven? Was it? Did you need to freshen up?
Lunch.
I'm wanting to hear his response why he jumped in the lake.
Yeah, right. Hopefully without your KX3.
because I'm pretty sure that it's not extremely warm up there.
There's no telling. Yeah.
We're gonna get no answer from him.
Inquiring minds are wanting to know, Stephen.
Patrick,
Maybe.
I don't know if that guy's still around or not. I haven't heard him activate in a long time.
The call sign's not familiar to me either.
It would be if you think about it.
Yeah, well, I've worked him once. Back almost a year ago. Oh, over a year ago.
We'll discuss it off stream. Definitely not a former Pota King.
I still want to know why you jumped in the lake. Don't keep us hanging.
He's going to. I'm positive of that.
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh no, he classifies himself as a Pota road warrior.
Ah.
Yeah, he's definitely a really fast driver.
Ah. Well, you know, when you get it up to about 88 miles an hour, some funny stuff happens. So.
Yeah. He may have been brave enough to leave the Eagle One up and charge the flux capacitor.
You don't leave your Eagle One up?
88 gigawatts or no?
Yeah.
1.3 gigawatts.
You don't leave your Eagle One up and drive down the road with it?
Not in West Virginia, no.
I just bring it down about 3 sections just so I can make it underneath the overpasses, and you're good to go.
I live in West Virginia.
Are you being serious?
You're lucky if your car gets under the underpasses in some places.
I hope you drilled a hole and through bolted where it sits into your hitch attachment. You hit one bump and that thing's going flying.
Have you ever drove anywhere with your Eagle One up?
No, but I've driven with it still on the back hitch. Okay. Like all the way collapsed down.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was going to another park that was literally a mile and a half down the road, so I pinned it. I just went.
I have driven with it up.
On purpose?
No.
Okay. I mean, I've moved my truck with it up, not on purpose, but I haven't driven. Maybe I went 5 feet and realized that I had it up.
Oh, I didn't go far.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go far. But
Curtis says it's fine for 40 or 50 miles.
No, I didn't go far. It was in a big boat marina actually, and I did go down one side and up the other side, and I kept noticing people staring at me.
Well, that's another way for people to stop tailgating. You just leave it up, drive down the road.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, we are approaching the top of the hour. Another good time.
Absolutely.
After this, we're definitely going to head over to the after chat, have another good time. If you 70, I will tell you,
you went 70.
I don't think he went 70 miles an hour in his car, but that thing, I have seen videos of over 50 mile an hour winds, and Whiskey Victor 8 Romeo Kilo Lima posted this video, and his antenna was just it was a horizontal, it wasn't a vertical, and it was just bending away. But I'll tell you flat out, it survived.
Yeah.
Now, would I suggest that? No. If you know a storm's coming and it's going to be 20 miles an hour wind, I would suggest, collapse for a reason. But that's why Stephen got splinters on the inside of his, and I'm still trying to figure out what Stephen did to get splinters on the inside of his, because my original, I'd have to look exactly. I know it's way over way over 1,000 activations because I've got over that on my new one.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he did. I don't know what he's pouring something down in it or something. I don't know. But anyway, they posted the link where you can head over to Patreon and get a 3 7-day trial. And here's the big kicker. If you do that, you have to jump in Discord and message myself, Dan or Hayden, so we can get you into the after chat. But other than that, Hayden, what do you got coming up?
Oh, just more everyday stuff and planning for the big meetup and the memorial activation, April 27th.
All right, Dan?
Looking forward to that yeah, I can talk today. Memorial activation too. And good to see everybody in the chat today. A lot of friendly and a couple of new faces I saw. Curtis, always good to see you. But other than that, hunt a little bit of Pota here and there and work.
So you're going to make it up to the memorial activation, Dan?
No, I'm going to hunt it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I wish I could make it.
All right. So for myself, I'll be out activating every day.
The memorial activation.
I'm definitely not going to be out activating because I'm not smart enough when I get sick to stay home. So other than that, video drop tomorrow. And hopefully I'll get better by the weekend where I can start getting my schedule back regular and doing a lot more timely activations. And I got a lot of things scheduled that I need to get done. I've got a Patreon meetup down in Murphy that I need to get scheduled. I'll be going to Moorfest in April. So got a lot of stuff coming up. Thank you guys very much for the super chats and your support, and we will see you in After Chat 73.
Don't forget, monthly business call tomorrow.
9 o'clock Eastern.
9?